Hello there, beautiful person. So, I thought I'm gonna give you a little update on my routine building process. So, it's the second week since I started, and I ran into a big problem, which is I'm facing an emotional low, which started maybe around last week, and it kind of continues throughout the whole week. And today is another day when I'm feeling, well, not very good in general. And there's quite a few reasons for it, but it's not really like anything really bad is happening or my life is miserable. Nothing like that. Quite the opposite. I'm in this beautiful place and living with people that I love and enjoying myself, yet I struggle emotionally. Um, so, how do I handle this and how this affects my routine building? Well, one thing is that I haven't been really good with establishing my new routine. So it was very alive when I started, but then the kind of the process started dying down because I just really didn't feel like it, and I was kind of falling into this downward loop where I don't feel very good in general. So I start to engage in numbing activities. For me, this is either watching some films that are not necessarily great. Yeah, I'm trying to wrap my head around it. Watching just films for the sake of watching something, it's very different from my kind of normal state, intentional watching art that I want to engage with. So this is one way that I'm numbing myself. The other one is emotional eating. That's a big one. And yeah, I feel like this week I've been eating way too much food, not doing very well on intermittent fasting as well. Um, and then the third one is just randomly checking internet for whatever, kind of clicking around and looking at some messages and just not looking for anything, just kind of wasting my time basically by numbing myself. So it's a bit challenging because the more I engage in those activities, the less I feel like going up basically and feeling better. Those activities keep numbing me, so I keep feeling not very good. Um, but I just don't feel often like I want to do something else. So it's this vicious circle that I'm observing. One very interesting thing that is happening is, well, I changed my squares a little bit in the minimalist journaling system, and I've had a conversation with a friend who actually has been using squares in a way that kind of blew my mind. It's fascinating to talk to people who use the system and hear how they're implementing it and what kind of tweaks they're making. So I started tracking my mood within the square in the form of a graph, which is something I've been doing before, but not within the squares. But I really enjoy it, and it just kind of brings my awareness to the fact that in general I feel quite low, but then there are peaks during the day, and I'm usually trying to pay attention to what those peaks, either the high peaks or the low peaks, what they were and what happened there, and that gives me some useful information. Um, Another thing is that I kind of, well, I haven't been really working that much on building my routine. I kind of let it slide a little bit, but I still have this preference of starting with the evening. So I'm basically stretching in the evening whenever I do. It doesn't always happen, but most of the days it does. And I'm trying to always take some time for myself to journal, to journal and to just connect with myself, even if right now, especially today, it feels like I'm not connected with myself at all. So it's actually very hard to spend time with myself. And even today is Monday, and it's usually my weekly review day, and I really didn't feel like doing anything, so I just did like a very very quick one, basic one. I kind of changed it a little bit just to bring some novelty and keep me engaged. So kind of trick myself into doing it really, and it worked. I did it, and I kind of know what's happening this week. I don't feel very excited, which is rare. Usually at the end of Monday, I'm feeling like full energy and ready to go. But there are few interesting insights from this. So one is that I've managed somehow to detach myself from this process and just accept that, yeah, right now I'm just feeling like crap and it's fine. It's just a part of the ride, and at some point it's gonna end and I'm gonna feel good again. So I'm just really accepting it, and I feel I'm quite proud of myself actually for being quite good with equanimity and just letting myself be in this place, but then also being aware that I don't really want to be in this place. So I'm already seeking opportunities to lift myself up, and whenever I have a little bit of will and kind of energy to lift myself up, my systems and habits that I've been building for a long time are actually kicking in automatically because they've just been established for a long period of time. So right now they work to my advantage, which is great to see in practice. Like, this is the theory, right, of systems. That systems are there to pull you through when the times are hard, and it's actually working to some extent. And I can see that I'm kind of like this car that is trying to start and it's just you're turning the key and it's kind of starting, but it isn't. But there's still the energy in there, so I feel I'm just missing some kind of spark. But I know that this will eventually happen because there's gonna be a day for sure when I'm gonna feel a bit better, and then I'm gonna just jump back on those habits and processes and routines that I've created before. So this is a very helpful realization because it just makes me feel quite relaxed about it. I actually, well, you might notice that I'm quite chilled talking about it all, but I'm in the same time I'm really not in a good place, and it's good to see myself in a bad place and still being able to be quite okay about it. It's very reassuring. Um, so I guess this is a good thing, and I also know that I'm kind of naturally predisposed to see good things in bad things. So this is like deep ingrained in me. Not I don't just know this intellectually that there's always two sides of the coin and there's always something good, even if the times seem to be very hard. So this kind of keeps me alive in some way. Not like I'm considering ending my life, no, nothing in that way, but just inside, I feel there's still joy there, there's still spark of happiness, and I'm still okay, and I'm living the life, and it's good, even if it's challenging. So yeah, that's kind of my main insight, for today, I guess, or maybe an observation from my journey. And I've been really enjoying journaling recently. I've started journaling even more freely and creatively than before, which is something I haven't done in that. I haven't journaled in the way that I'm journaling right now for maybe around 3 years. And maybe at some point I'll make a video about it, but I don't feel like doing it right now. Um, so so that feels good because it really makes me feel excited and connected, and it's hard to actually start doing it, especially today, but actually talking to you makes it very helpful. So I'm going to use this opportunity to commit to actually to actually spend some time on journaling free journaling, as I kind of titled it for now. And as for my routine, there is actually one insight that I would like to share, one finding, which also I got inspired by a friend, and I just totally just copy pasted into my life. And I used to do that before, and I loved it, but then I stopped. I just eliminated alarm clock from morning. So I used to before, I had an alarm set for the same time every single day. Right now I just don't have an alarm clock, so I wake up whenever my body feels like waking up. And sometimes it's much later, and I know this is connected to overeating, so I know there's like lots of loops there, but it's okay. I know it's gonna end at some point, and there's only one more week of work in front of me, and then I'm going on holiday. So in a way, I also know that this week will be hard because there's a lot of work for me to do, but then I'm gonna be on holiday, and there's lots of exciting things that I'm looking forward to. So I'm just gonna use that time to really reboot everything, because I know I'm gonna be, well, I'm anticipating it, but I think it's likely that I'm gonna be in much happier place than I am right now. And I'll use this week. I'm just gonna cut myself some slack, and I'm gonna do the work, and I'm gonna try to do my best. But if I don't really feel like, or I just don't have enough energy and mental strength to stick to some of my habits and routines, then I just won't, and I'm not gonna beat myself up for it. Yeah, and today I'm gonna do some journaling, this free journaling, which is gonna be a good way to end the day. And I guess that's it. And I can see already it's like 12-minute video, so it's a bit longer. But I hope it's useful, and it's just kind of, I guess it's interesting because maybe it's the first time that I'm recording a video from a point of being like very low emotionally, and it feels interesting. I think there is a big value in communicating and sharing experience from that place, not only from the happy place. And it was not really easy for me to pick up the camera and just start recording, but I thought I will. I thought I would. So I did. And also that feels like a little victory that I was able to share something. And yeah, and I just hope it's useful. So that's me signing off. Week 2 of routine building, and I wish you lots of love. And I'm just going to turn around and end the shot with a little bit of overexposed glimmer of the Atlantic Ocean. Lots of love.